Good morning, my friends. I'm out here in the front yard again, and I just wanted you to stick around because at the end of this video, I'm going to attach the video I did last night on my way home from work. But until then, I wanted to bring you out here to the front yard because things are happening very quickly, very, very quickly. And so I wanted to bring you along and show you what's new today. Look at the growth. Look at the growth on that. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I think those are definitely tulips. Daffodils would have had their head up on them already. Oh, those are definitely tulips. So that's going to be really pretty to have those tulips in the front yard here. I might actually just leave them right here and just add some more. I don't know what the little furry ones are, the little teeny ones. I'm sure there's some sort of flower. But I like tulips. Tulips are pretty, daffodils are pretty. I might just add more to it. That's pretty cool. And then over here are these guys. Now, I don't know if these are all tulips. They might be something else in there too. And they seem like they're only on the edge. Can you guys see that? Just on the edge. So, I'm not sure. That was a garden bed of some sort there, a little raised bed thing there. And that all is going to eventually become grass. And those tulips, or whatever they are, if they're tulips, I don't know, I think they are. They're all going to get pulled up, separated, and spread throughout the rest of the yard. Later in the season, much later in the season. Want those bulbs to get their energy. And then we'll move over here to the rosemary. And it looks like a lot of this rosemary has died back. Some of it might still be green, but not like this. That's definitely dead. So hopefully some of this comes back. Otherwise, it's all right. I'll just replant it again. I definitely want rosemary growing year-round in my garden as a bush if I can. I'm going to try doing that with sage as well. I'm noticing in the wood chips a lot of these little maple seedlings coming up. They're kind of a pain in the rear right now to pull up, but I'll get to them. Maybe when they get a little bit bigger, it'll be easier to pull up. Or not. And then up on Strawberry Hill, I planted a couple of new strawberries. I think I told you about that. But if you look right there in the middle, there's a baby there from last year I planted. So hopefully they all do good. I don't think I need to, but I might end up adding a few more plants to that. We'll see. And then that peach tree. Ooh, I added a peach tree to the garden. I'm so excited. I just stepped on something. So there's a peach tree, and I left a tag on it. It is a last chance freestone peach. Fruit medium to large fruit, good canning and freezing canning peaches. Ripens in October. So, I don't know if it's in my zone or not. I don't know nothing about it. I just figured, what the heck? Let's plant it. Let's see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, it dies. And then I gotta, do it again. Thought I saw something here in the grass. Oh, I did see something in the grass. I planted under the wood chips. See, oh, there they are. Some irises in the fall. You see them? And then there's these guys too. Now, I don't have to pull them back. I'm pull the wood chips back, but they're gonna come through either way. But I thought I would show you. that and unbury them a little bit so I don't step on them. I put some irises in there just for fun, just to see how they would do. And there's a ton of little seedlings popping up everywhere. Now that also doesn't necessarily mean that those little seedlings are coming from the wood chips. We get them in the area like crazy every other year or so. And they're literally everywhere, even in the birch seedling, or the birch pine chips. So, yeah. So I'm thinking right here, putting another tree, maybe right in there. Put another tree in there. That's what I'm thinking. And then I have one more thinking over here on the side someplace. But I'm not sure. Maybe I don't want to put it in the backyard. I want it in the front yard. I would suggest where this guy is put one, but it is what it is. And I don't want to shade out the strawberries too much. Strawberries like sun. That's why we chose to put Strawberry Hill here, is because it's going to get a ton of sun. And look, they're all coming up too. And they're looking pretty good for the most part. So, all those irises. So everything's looking good. Everything's starting to grow. Yeah. So that's a quick little update here in the front yard. All right, my friends. Well, I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me. And I'm going to go ahead and tag on that video that I filmed last night of me driving home. So, until next time, bye for now, y'all. Keep watching. Oh, hello, friends. I don't know if I can drive with the window down or not. Might get too loud. You won't be able to hear all the important things I got to say. Yeah, right. As if. Hello. It is me again. Actually, I'm going to roll this one up. There we go. I'll turn a little bit of air on or something here. Hello, my friends. Hello. I hope you all are having yourselves a fantastic day. I am now off work, and the sun is still shining. It's 5:17. That's what the watch and the clock in the car say. That's not normal, trust me. Usually it's dark when I'm on my way home this time of day. Oh, I have no idea what I'm going to say or what I'm going to talk about other than what I got yesterday. Yesterday I went to go pick up some kibasas so I could cook dinner and do my cast iron with keto video. And when I go to walk into the store, they, this time of year they have plants and that kind of thing right by the front door when you first walk in. And I'm like, oh, cool, they have plants again this year. I'm going to stop and take a look and see what there is. So for $10, you could get one of 3 types of trees. They're real small. They're only probably 2-year-old trees. They're not very, very old. And I bought them before. We just didn't have any land or any ground to put them in. And then, of course, they died this winter because of the dogs chewing the crud out of them. So I bought 3 of them. I bought a Freestone peach. I bought a plum and an apricot tree. And so I got three different types of trees, and I am going to put those in my yard. I'm really kind of excited about that. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. I already know where I'm putting the peach, but the other two I'm not exactly sure. But I'll find a place. Trust me. I'll find a place. So yeah. And then they had, I think they're a little expensive, but they had strawberry plants, $1.99 per plant, which I think is a little out there. But I got two of them. The ones I got are called Chandler, and they are June bearing. So kind of excited. They already have, I can't believe I just did that. They already have flowers on them, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or not, but whatever. I'm not worried about it. I planted them in the garden, and hopefully they come up. I planted some other ones as well in the fall, and it looks like they're coming up as well. So, pretty cool. I'm kind of excited about that. So, anyways, I'm pulling in here to the gas station really quick. They've got a sale on Rockstar energy drinks that my wife and I love, and I'm gonna grab me a few. I know it's evil. I should not be consuming chemicals like that, but what are you gonna do? Stop me? I'll be right back. Hey, I just bought me a case of Rockstar. I'm a bad person. I know. What is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 24 Rockstars. I got 8 of the orange Pure Zero, and I got 8 of the Punch Pure Zero. And of course, the reason we drink those ones versus all the others is because the Pure Zero Rockstars have 0 sugar and 0 carbs. Are they healthy for me? No. Wait, do they have 0 carbs? I don't know. Maybe they have like 2 carbs. Maybe. I don't know. I don't care. I'm addicted. Well, maybe. Yeah. The first sign of being that you have a problem is admitting that you have a problem. So I guess I've got a problem. I like my energy drinks. The funny thing about energy drinks or caffeine is it does absolutely nothing for me. Nothing. I can drink an entire pot of coffee, and the only side effect I'm going to get is having to go to the bathroom. And if I do it right before bed, I'll be up at 2:30. And then again, I'll be up at 5:30. Yeah. But, you know, I don't know what it is, but caffeine doesn't do anything. I'll even, they make these no-dose, I think is what they're called, caffeine pills that you can take. So each pill is the equivalent of like a cup of coffee or something. I can take like a bunch of them, like 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them maybe, and nothing. Now, yeah, I know, bad for my health. It's gonna kill me. I'm gonna die. I know. But there's worse things in the world I could do to have energy and stay awake. And if it actually worked, but it doesn't. You know, methamphetamine, for instance. That'll give you energy and keep you awake for days. Actually, from what I understand, methamphetamine was given to somebody in our history. I can't remember what the story is now. But that's what it was for, was to keep them awake. Oh, show kids. Or whatever. Movie star, the kids that were movie stars. what's her name from The Wizard of Oz? She was on methamphetamines. And then so was Shirley Temple, I think. But back in that time period, a lot of the kids, to keep them working and keep them going, long hours. Oh well, life goes on. Well, I'm noticing gas prices are going through the roof now. Spring is definitely here. $2.75 a gallon for regular unleaded fuel. And I wouldn't call it regular because it's got like 10%, at least 10% ethanol in it. Oh, that's not regular. I don't put that in my car. I can't. If I put regular fuel in this car, if I put regular fuel in it, it just, I was going to say a nasty word. It complains and it complains and it moans and it groans and it barely drives. Just put. So I got to put the expensive, 91% octane or whatever that is. I got to put that stuff in it, which is kind of pricey, but you do what you can, I guess, or what you have to. More like it. So the garden, slowly coming about. I don't have a whole lot of time to do as much as I want to, but this last weekend really burned me out. I didn't get to shoot a video of it. I started to, and then just one thing after another, and just got real busy. But I went back up north to Tum Tum and trimmed those apple trees that I trim every year. Unfortunately, I only got about 2 of them done, and they're big trees. Get all the suckers off of them and stuff, get them cleaned up. I only got 2 of them done, and then I cut my hand pretty bad. And of course, by then, because that on Saturday, we took that tree down on the side of the house, moving those logs and cutting that stuff up, and out in the sun all day, got sunburned and not feeling too hot. And then Sunday going and doing it again, and I got to about, I think it was about 1:30 or 2 o'clock, and I started at 7, and I was done. I was out of energy. I had nothing left, and I had 2 apple trees and a cherry tree left. I know, you're not supposed to trim cherry trees. This one is an exception. This poor cherry tree, I'm so sad, was a very tall, very beautiful cherry tree many years ago, and someone decided to hack it in half and leave one branch on it because they couldn't see the lake from their balcony, is what I'm assuming what happened. So the last 3 years, this is the 3rd year I've been working on it. The last 3 years I've been trimming it and cleaning it and trying desperately to make it at least semi-decent. I don't even know if it produces cherries, to be honest with you, because I'm never around in the spring, or well, it's not spring, it's early June, right? Isn't it early June? May, end of May, June, something like that's when cherries are usually on the trees, I think. I don't know, something like that. I never pay attention. Never been a huge fan of cherries. Excuse me. However, I would like to get a couple of cherry trees. I have a perfect spot in my backyard for a couple of cherry trees. A little closer to the house than where we took that one tree down. And I would, you know what, if that tree that was there, if it was healthy, I would have left it. It wasn't a bad tree. It wasn't in a bad spot. It just was kind of dead. And a dead tree, is not a good thing to have around. They catch on fire really easy. A wind blows and they break and they crash and hit a vinyl fence. I mean, all kinds of things can happen. So that's all right. I'm gonna get me a couple of cherry trees, I think, and put back there. I've had a couple of people suggest the Rainier, and I don't know if I want a Rainier. You know what? We get Rainier cherries around here a lot, and when they're in season at the grocery stores and stuff, and they are not my favorite. I don't know. They're just not my favorite. I don't know. Cherries are... I don't know very much about cherries, to be honest with you. But we'll see what I can find. But I really don't want Rainier. There's one, what's it called? Saint? No, it's not Saint. Marianne's Favorite or something. I don't know. Paul Gauchi has one. And when we went the first part of June, what was it, 3 years ago or something like that? 2 or 3 years ago we went. And there was a couple of cherries on his trees. And oh, they were so good. They were sweet. And the skin was thinner on them. And they were kind of a dark red color. I'll have to go back and watch his videos again. And not like I don't already do that. The problem is I never keep notes and I have a short-term memory thing. But I'm going to see if I can figure out what it is. And maybe I'll see if I can find that and plant that. So, but I don't see the point spending, more than $20 on a tree. That's ridiculous. You end up going to these places and they're selling, like apple trees, for instance. Especially Ace Hardware. Don't ever buy a tree from Ace Hardware. Oh my gosh. $140, $150 a freaking tree. And you can get the same tree at Walmart for like $26. Oh. Or $40. I think it's $40. But I always go to so Walmart always has this section in the garden section where they have trees and bushes and all kinds of different stuff all the time. This time of year, the time that stuff comes in, where they're selling trees and bushes and plants and stuff at a really, really discounted price because they got too many in. They can't house them all, so they end up selling a bunch of them at a really, really cheap rate. Well, the 2 apple trees in my front yard, I paid I think it's like $17.98 or something like that. $18 a piece for them, plus tax. So $20 a piece is basically what I spent for those. I think that's a damn good deal, And then these 3, I spent $30 and I got 3 trees. So I think that's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of spending a ton of money on things. So, anyways, I've been sitting here ranting and ranting and ranting. Thanks for taking a ride with me in the car. And I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.